around, my dad took me to a farm auction, and a gate fell down, fractured this zygote. That was risk. What did I do? Woo! That was fun. And my whole life has been spent like that 5-year-old running a risk. And so now I ride my bicycle all over town, and this is where it crosses into physics. They say, why do you ride your bike? I said, duh, I do experiments. First, you trust Jesus, then you trust the physics. If these two cars are equidistant, going the same velocity, he can't hit you. You just need to turn at the right time. Makes him upset, but oh well. So this first poem here then is the cross-section of the wonder that physicists and all scientists give. My rural background in that farm auction reminded me of all the farmers around here. It's a big risk. Should we do this, Cosmo? How many acres? 4.5. Okay, that's a huge risk. Is it going to sell? Is it not going to sell? But it's science. It's science crossing life. And I love how science crosses life. So this first poem is about what if one of my experiments with the equidistant car did not go as planned. Okay, symmetry. The suicide lane is symmetrical. The arrow points both directions. Yellow dots and yellow solids, reflective gray lines, were once white. I'm getting better at cutting in front of headlights, as long as they don't piss their pants and lock up their brakes. Trust the physics. They trust what they see. They say that black holes crush and take away our light. They lied. 307 antimeridium sucks the light out of the sky. It's safer in this cold darkness. Fewer headlights. It's the broad daylight where they are blind with distractions. Their anxious idling could kill. One screamed, I didn't see him. The other screamed, you didn't look. 6 months later, the grafted muscle starting to take. Leaning hard on the cane, he is no longer symmetrical. So that's the risk error. Every day I tell my wife a story, she says, just don't come home dead or I'm going to beat you up. Okay. This is called Sistina Light. If you were in China and you wanted to get into graduate school in the dynastic era, you needed to know poetry. Poetry was like learning calculus. So what Sistinas do is they replicate lines and patterns and fold you through some ideas. This one's called matching socks. Changing socks before bed at night. What if life's great questions worked that way? Lint between your toes, forgotten when discovered, bound to small, infinite threads of darkness. What if life's great questions worked that way? Gently drawn apart with each foot's pace, bound to small, infinite threads of darkness, reminding me to hold her up, gently drawn apart with each foot's pace, my tiny arms struggling to fold in her regrets, reminding me to try and hold her up, failing to make them match. My tiny arms struggling to fold in her regrets. Great questions answered by ordering all black socks. Failing to make them match. Gently, still gently, trying to make them all match. I do teach writing, and it's a staple to teach freshmen Romeo and Juliet. Hi, freshmen teenagers. Let's talk about dysfunctional suicidal teenagers and see if it makes sense. But there is something about that play and all of what Shakespeare's writing that when they talk of the stars. There's a distinct waving to the mystery of cosmology, and I really like that. They didn't know anything about what we're going to see tonight. I'm really excited to see it. But they still made these sweeping metaphors as to what the entirety of that universe was to them. And in this sonnet from Shakespeare, it points to the entirety of me stealing from physics is because my wife keeps me on the planet. And we are approaching Valentine's Day, so I hope you're getting this on tape so I have something to give her or I'm stuck. So, okay. Okay, this is Shakespeare's Sonnet 14 for my wife. And then I'll show you my last two poems are dedicated to her. Not from the stars do my judgment pluck, and yet methinks I have astronomy, but not to tell of good or evil luck, of plagues or dearths or seasons' quality. Nor can I fortune to brief minutes tell, pointing to his thunder, rain, and wind, or say with princes, if it shall go well, by oft predict that I in heaven find. But from thine eyes my knowledge I derive, and constant stars, in them I read such art, as truth and beauty shall together thrive, if from thyself to store thou wouldst convert. Or else of thee this I prognosticate, thy end is truth's and beauty's doom and date. And so these last two poems are the last line, if for my wife. Thy end is truth's and beauty's doom and date. And this is called Odd Angles. She got busy at work. Actually, this is true today even, so that's not even, anyway. Beep, sorry. She got busy at work. Time isn't her gig. Like Grandfather Larson, I want to be 10 minutes early. We were late. That meant we had to sit up front, where nobody wants to be. Our necks straining to see the panorama. When they swept across the scene, I was dizzy. My neck hurt from looking at the screen. Her red hair spilled over her shoulder. I lost sight of the movie, knowing that Beauty and the Beast got married, and now we are middle-aged, going on a date in the village. My neck hurts. Her hip aches. She got busy at work. Time isn't her gig. Like Grandfather Larson, I wanted to be 10 minutes early. We were late. And here's the final one. This made it into the online Journal of the Washington State Humanities poetry anthology this last year. We dance. We dance a silent flamenco. Backwards without heels, combat boots and a Punisher t-shirt, no bow. Red hair to the waist, focused chopping, no curtsy. Spinning back-to-back, knives in the drawer, towels on the rack, our music hears no one. Maracas, marked half-cup, rattle. We stomp, familiar, sharp steps. Pot pie in the oven, pots scrubbed and dried. Thank you.